Quite a few years ago in Eagle River, Wisconsin, our family went out to a movie, and there were literally 25 seats in this entire theater. It was one of those really old theaters. And after the movie, it was only our family and then three other people. And the couple left right away. And we turned around and there was a gentleman sitting there. His name was Joe. We got talking to this gentleman and he had recently just lost his wife. Well, we became very close friends over the years and even that year. And Joe brought us an illuminator. He had taken a beautiful bucket, filled it with water, and then he left a hole in the middle of it so you could put a candle. So we took this illuminator home to our home in Wisconsin and we put it on the deck. And this one candle that we put inside of the illuminator, this beautiful ice frozen block of water, illuminated the entire deck. One single candle. And I remember thinking to myself, that's a lot what it's like, isn't it? When we have a light inside of us, we can illuminate. We can give light. We can share what's inside of us with others. So this Christmas season, I got thinking, okay, what kind of video could I do that would be extra special about Christmas? And I thought to myself, well, my favorite word is give. When we give to others, we are illuminating their life and it reflects back to our life. So the other day I challenged my girls to what they could do at school. What could they give at school, even though they weren't allowed to use any money? And on the way to school, they were saying things like, well, I could give my time. I could listen. I could give compliments, right? There's so many things that we can give without going to buy presents. Even this Christmas, if you were to wrap up Christmas presents that say, I'm going to give you 3 hours of my time and we're going to go hang out. We're going to go climb a tree, whatever it might be, that, or I'm going to give you time. You can give compliments, wrap up compliments for your kids and compliments for your spouse and compliments for anybody who's visiting you, but give those kind of gifts. And interesting enough, even though I love the word give, it is actually the root word of something even more exciting and even a bigger word, especially right now at Christmas. And at the end, hang in there, don't stop watching the video because at the end I pull it all together. But that word is forgive. This is a perfect time to be forgiving of others. Forgive people who this year have upset you or have done you wrong. And when people do something to us, there's a quote I like to remember, and it says, if I've been offended, I try to allow the offense never to reach me. I let my soul raise as high as possible so that offense cannot touch it. And just think of it that way. So if you choose to be offended, which of course is your choice, but if you choose to get offended, you want to make sure that you raise your soul so high that that offense can't even touch you. And so forgiving other people is actually untying. It's the Arabic word for untie. So to forgive means to untie. And don't you feel that way when you're holding a grudge or you're really upset with somebody, even if it's something little in your family or big in your family? You feel bound to that person. You wake up in the morning and you're thinking about it. You go to bed and you're thinking about it. You watch the news and you're thinking about it. Like whatever you're doing during the day, you're obsessed with this anger and this frustration for what's been done wrong against you. And even though the perpetrator may not deserve to be forgiven, you deserve to be set free. And that's the part of forgiveness that is so crucial, especially this time during Christmas. So there's steps to forgiveness. The number one step is to realize that, hey, it's bugging you more than it's bugging them. They may not even be thinking about the problem anymore, but it really burns within you. It's kind of like holding on to that hot potato when you're playing the hot potato game. Who's getting burnt? You, because you're holding the hot potato, right? Not the other people who are waiting for it. So you want to stop telling the story. How many times do we keep telling the story over and over and over again about the offense that was done to you? Just find a way to stop telling the story, even though it's a juicy one, and even though it does make you feel better for sharing it. Just try not to tell the story anymore. And maybe look for the silver lining, things that you've grown or you've learned from because of this offense. I'm going to read to you a short part of a poem. It's only 6 lines from that Dr. Martin King Jr. wrote. I love it. I often think of this, and I teach it every time I teach my big forgiveness class. And it's hatred paralyzes life, love releases it. Hatred confuses life, and love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life, and love illuminates it. Now, this is not about love. This is about forgiving. But that's the next step. What are we celebrating at Christmas? We're celebrating the birth of Christ. We're celebrating, and we give gifts because we're in remembrance of the fact that wise men took years to follow that star and they gave gifts to the young Jesus. We celebrate the gifts that he gave to us, the gifts that he gave to others, sight, their hearing, they're able to walk again, forgiveness. So Jesus Christ as a man and gave us a great gift, and that was forgiveness, right? If it wasn't for the atonement, we wouldn't be celebrating Christmas because it would just be another baby who was born. But because Christ forgave us, he gave us freedom by forgiving us, then we celebrate this great time called Christmas. So again, giving other people by illuminating not just yourself, but others around you with graciousness and kindness and forgiveness is a way to celebrate Christmas, because that's what Christmas is about. Sure, gift giving is amazing. Each one of my kids gets 5 presents. My grandkids could probably get more, and I've been buying them all year long. I'm pretty cheap, but it's really, really fun. So gift giving is really exciting, but the best gift that you can give any of your children, the best gift that you can give any of your neighbors is going to be forgiveness. That is the very best gift that you can give, because that is why we are celebrating Christmas, because we have been forgiven. So who are we not to forgive? Have a blessed and wonderful Christmas.